All right, we're good now. Screen, lights, camera, action. Let's make sure I'm on the right one. All right, there we go. You guys can see now, hopefully, somewhat. All right, good. What's up, guys? What's up? Let's go over today. Sorry, running a little bit late, but nonetheless, let's go through it. So we can clear all this. New day. You guys know UK 100 DAX did not give me anything that I liked last night. Granted, I did like sells. I think sells were higher probability to play out, and that looks like this is what happened. Just no setups for me. Nothing I liked. No good structure. We have now broken like this 5-minute low here. One thing I don't like is the 15-minute has just really been hesitating. No real displacement, where I'm almost getting the idea that yes, like we are still trending bearish, but nonetheless, like we have a lot of liquidity resting here. We know that we can facilitate a pullback of this entire leg. And in these conditions, yes, like we can 100% keep selling with the overall trend. I just hate selling after this long. I do. Okay. And obviously the same thing for buys. Like when price continues to just trend, I just not the biggest fan of continuing. Like obviously in some cases, yes, 100%. Yes, trade with the trend. But nonetheless, I know what's bound to happen at some point, and that's the pullback and then potentially, a continuation back lower. Okay. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens. I mean, we could see something today. Yes, this is a pretty big move up to these highs, like a 70-point move. Okay. And for UK 100, it's decently large. But if I were to look for buys, it'd have to be something breaking these highs. Unless we play the 5-minute here in some way, which let me see if we can. I genuinely doubt it. Yeah, we're already at 50%. So technically, if we were to come higher, we would just be filling in imbalance here, which 5-minute just isn't the strongest. Tokyo just took Tokyo highs. Yeah, again, I'd rather wait for that full confirmation there. So yeah, what's good, Lormings? Let me disable streamer mode. All right, so DAX, let's see. It's probably going to be about the same thing. We have been selling, as you can see. I believe we facilitated this pullback. Yeah, so obviously we know that we can go higher from here. We still not have yet to break this internal high, which honestly I'd like to see to confirm that price one obviously was previously bullish, had a pullback, but then we can see a continuation of new higher highs being made within that internal structure. That'd be super nice. How was Mark's wedding? It was great. It was great. Had fun. Loved it. Mark was very excited. But going back to it, again, even lower time frames are still sitting within this bearish trend. We've kind of just been ranging a lot. We haven't really been moving. No real decision as far as like we could have broke higher. Obviously, we haven't. It's just been a back and forth game, not even breaking lower, where this isn't even worth trading, guys. Like, yes, we may be able to find maybe some 15-minute setup within here, maybe for sells, just because I guess sells do make more sense in the sense that we are still bearish within this bearish trend. Obviously, yes, swing structure is still bullish over here from a higher time frame standpoint, and we are expected to go higher long term. Obviously, higher high, higher low, can't expect higher high, but nonetheless, internal structure is still bearish. We can still come and take deeper discounted levels, but nonetheless, we'll see. Okay, we're still getting decent bearish price action here, getting good reactions off of this 15-minute leg here. So maybe if we see some type of confirmation on the 5-minute, which truly the confirmation wouldn't be until we break Tokyo lows, which is still a pretty big move, and then we can look to take New York lows after that if we get a nice little pullback, and then potentially even these lows. But again, same thing applies. A little bit different scenario here with DAX and UK 100. With UK 100, we're very oversold and trending down. Okay, with DAX, we obviously had a bullish trend. We had a pullback that has been trending down a little bit within this bullish leg. So either way, they're both kind of at a negative, because in this case, we were originally bullish, like on DAX. We're kind of trending lower into discounted levels. We know we can continue back up within that original trend. And in UK 100's sake, this would be UK 100, we've already, again, sold off and just have continued to trend lower and lower and lower, where at some point we know we're going to see that extended pullback just like we have on DAX, okay? But enough explaining there. Let's go to NASDAQ, where it's important, okay? I've been liking NASDAQ. Obviously, we did take a loss yesterday. It kind of sucks. The first trade that we didn't take, that would have been a break even. But nonetheless, the second trade was a pretty nasty loss. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was one loss. But we'll make it back today as long as we see something good. So let's start the higher time frames. Looks like from yesterday, we just ended up melting off. Okay. Ended up melting off. Have now actually come back into the area we were looking for buys, probably even higher. Where we were yesterday. No, just about the area. So just based off the higher time frame right now, not gonna lie, looking at the hourly, like I don't necessarily pay attention to like supply and demand and stuff like that, but we are just reacting off that area fairly well. All right, we're seeing very nice top wicks. We're seeing this pretty nice bearish candle. Depending how the hourly closes, maybe we see some sells, but that could be momentary. Okay, we'll see right now. First thing I'm seeing right off the bat. Okay, we swept these lows. Broke this high. Oops. Broke this high. Really never had a pullback, or at least an extended pullback of this new bullish internal leg. Obviously, we're overall bearish, but this is where I love these setups, okay? Because if we look at the higher time frames, at least to the left, within this leg here, we are bearish, okay? And this could just be a pullback to the lower. But I don't care about that because, again, even with identifying this bullish internal leg here, I know that if we are to go higher, price is still going to pull back and then go higher. Where in this case, I find these to be my bread and butter setups because it's just a double confirmation. I know that I can aim for short-term sells within the pullback of this leg, which is also in technically could be in alignment with the overall bearish structure from the higher time frames as well. So I really like these trades. So let's see if we can catch anything. Lower time frame. Obviously 5 minutes, not looking too bad. We just broke a low. So we could end up aligning with the 5 minute since it's still a 1 minute leg and looking for shorts off this area, which it's not a crazy bad stop loss, 25 points. And go for a nice little 1 to 2, potentially even hold the Tokyo lows. That's what I'm really going to look for here. I'm probably going to risk what we risked yesterday, obviously 500. In this case, let's see if we can get a check off. We have some imbalance. Okay, I'd probably still enter at the 50% here, guys. Yes, we could wait for 71%. Okay, obviously we have before. But in the trades I like waiting for the 71% is when we have an outrageous amount of imbalance. Like this entire leg here would have just been filled with imbalance where price just, it's a no-brainer to see price fill all that imbalance, okay? But in this case, we had a little break, had a little fill. Looks like it reacted off this fair value gap here. Continued lower. So honestly, I'm just going to wait for 50%. As long as it hits during London Open. So I like this. I'm going to take this. Let's see. But going back to what I was saying, let's do a percentage score. Obviously, wrong one. There we go. So obviously we have higher time frame alignment. Liquidity sweep. We took these highs here. Beautiful. Breaker structure, yes. No imbalance. Yes, there is some imbalance, okay, but not the type of imbalance I like to see. And obviously, we're going to wait for 57% retracement. So this is another 80% trade score trade. So it's not the highest probability. Obviously, if we had really good imbalance, it's just higher probabilities, at least in my case. But nonetheless, I still like taking these. We've still won on 80%. We've won on 60% trades. It's just a matter of telling us how high of a probability is this trade. But I think other external factors, like even the higher time frames, like what I went over as far as this leg being bearish, yes, this internal leg's bullish, but we can still expect a deeper pullback, even if price wanted to continue bullish. Okay, external factors like that also make up the fact that it is still a really high probability trade. So, but I'm ready. I think I'm only going to be looking at NAS today. Let's make back yesterday's loss and more. That's the goal here. That's a goal. You guys know, if you guys weren't here yesterday, we were in recovery mode on this account at least because I, for some reason on Friday, left a limit order in or a market order and it filled when I got off and I lost $1,000. Which sucks. And then we had a $500 loss yesterday. I'll check in Telly later. I was at a wedding, Chucky. I just got back from a wedding, but I'll check it as soon as I'm done with this. I promise you. Promise you. So let's see how much we got to risk. Again, I always use my edge matrix thing just so it's easy. Futures, obviously we want to risk $500. We're not trading YM, we're trading M and Q. We have a 25 point stop. We'll say 26 just to make it about accurate. Okay, 9 contracts. Okay, super simple. So we'll go 9 contracts on this trade at 50%. See what happens. When it comes to NAS, I trade futures. When it comes to UK 100 and DAX, I solely trade my live account. But there hasn't been any trades. Like it's just honestly like, I'm not saying like our directional bias has been pretty sound, like pretty good as far as we know where price wants to go. It's just not the best conditions. Nothing that I like. No real setups, at least in my eyes. Okay, in my eyes, like when it comes to DAX, we've just been ranging. Like we've been stuck in this range for way too long, to the point where it's just not worth it to me. Like, yes, we're on the 15 minute. Yes, we're on the 30 minute. I can find a trade on the 5 minute. I don't really trade the 1 minute on DAX UK 100, but nonetheless, again, it's just not worth it, like whatsoever, at least to me. Okay, DAX, UK 100 on the other hand, it looks decently well. Like, it looks like we have been trending quite well, to be honest with you. Looks like we came up, reacted off this 50%, came lower. Looks like we finally broke these lows. Even here, had a decent, reaction back lower. Here, with these highs, but still stayed bearish. So again, like we could continue to trade this bearish trend down, but I just think the way price is reacting at these lows, where we're seeing a lot of hesitation, a lot of exhaustion, within a lot of these bottom wicks, kind of give me that idea. I think buys are a little bit better here. Okay, we could look for buys obviously on the 5 minute, but even then they're just not looking too strong. Not really any real internal highs or nothing like that. So I'd rather just wait for a confirmational break of like this here and continue trading higher. Honestly, one thing I might start doing, just because like I've been noticing this a lot with DAX and UK 100, is there's been a lot of setups that happen like before open, after open on a higher time frame. And honestly, like don't get me wrong, like I still see setups every now and then, on the 5 minute during London open, or within our London time frame, which is I trade the first 2 hours London session. But honestly, guys, it's kind of getting to the point where a lot of the data that I'm stacking up right now is giving me the idea to trade even after hours, even during New York, right? And just ultimately just, again, like as I just pointed out, trading with the trend. We definitely had some very nice sell positions here that we could have executed on, but nonetheless, a lot of these were out of my time zone, out of my time. Okay, when was this? Look, 8 a.m. Fucking, 10? This was 1:45. When did it hit over here? It first hit 11:30. Was that PM? Yeah. So basically like New York hours. All right, let's pay attention over here though. We have market open. We wick down a bit, so obviously we move the range expands. So now we have a 28 point stop loss. Let's make sure we adjust accordingly. So 8 contracts now. Beautiful. So let's see. Again, you guys definitely can wait for the deeper pullback into 71%, but just my thing is, again, there's not as much imbalance. Price may just react off 50% and then continue lower. And I really like the fact that we have Tokyo Low sitting right down here as well. So obviously I usually go for 1 to 2. But if we're, just kind of feeling it, if price is giving us a lot of bearish volume to the downside, I may just hold and trail and see if we can, tap out a full 1 to 3, right? We'll see. A contract position, put right there. Beautiful. I wonder what the 30-second looks like. Look at this 30-second move. See, this is what I mean. This is why I love pullback. So we know that we're waiting for this 1 minute pullback. Okay, also 5 minute pullback to take price lower. But one thing is too, if we look at the 30-second, which I don't really trade the 30-second ever, but it's the same thing. We break these internal highs here. We have this in bullish, this bullish candle, right? Made a new high within this internal price action, pulled back into 50%, filled the imbalance, and then ripped to at least 101 at this point, where we could have already caught a 101, potentially even a 1 to 2 up into this area. That's why I love the way I trade. Doesn't matter what time frame you want to look at. It doesn't. Like we at this point we probably would have been up near 1 to 2 once we hit this area, which again, like this is our target. This is where we're expecting to sell from, right? So obviously if we take this sell and it fucking takes a shit on us and we lose, I'm not saying I'm going to go and just start trading 30-second, but that's very good data that I like to kind of see. Like again, I've been collecting data even when it's like DAX and UK 100, just by observation, just by simple observation. I've been noticing there's been a lot of trades happening during New York. Okay. And again, that doesn't mean I'm going to go and start trading New York, but that's just overall an observation that's telling me, okay, is something changing? Am I seeing, a certain trend happen at a different time, right? Or a different session or a different time frame. Okay. I love data like that. I'm so big on data. I'm massive on data since day one. Get ready for this trade. I'm ready to take it. I hate playing account recovery. I was honestly just going to go get... I hate playing account recovery. It's just so boring sometimes. And like that one trade, like I just don't remember me being in a... like or having a position open and just me closing my trade. How many contracts? 8. I can't wait to get this to you, Michael. It's going to help you so much. Just so quick, guys. You can do anything. MNQ, YM. I was trading YM this morning on this account. So it's decently well there. And again, it's just... I was looking going pretty heavy risk, I can't lie. Hi, bro. What's up? Annie Chaderi on YouTube. What's up? But hopefully we get a nice little trade to end the month. Is it the end of the month already? Oh, we have one more day. I wanted to learn, is that possible? Yeah, bro. Just listen in. We're about to look to enter a trade here soon. But one thing you could take advantage of is, again, like once this is over, if you missed the beginning, go, see why I'm looking for sells. I can break it down too. Would you ever trade breakouts and why? Yeah, Chucky. Like, if I'm just there, I'm bored. I think it's just like, the thing is like, I can't solely do that. Like I couldn't just come to like London too and trade breakouts. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does. Like, you catch some volume. Like, let's see what happened on UK 100. UK 100 ripped here. Okay, if you were just playing like a quick little breakout, these high, this low, which that's a 1 minute, so let's be realistic. There's definitely moves here. Okay, but nonetheless, like, I just like the way I trade a lot more. Especially when it comes to London. Do we get tapped in? No. If we rip down, I'm pressed. Obviously, it's set a stop loss just in case. But again, like going back to what I was saying, these buys played out, guys. Like these 30-second buys played out. And again, it was, yes, it's a lot smaller scale, but it goes with the same concepts as far as having internal structure. Obviously, we know we're oversold. We can definitely see a pullback. We see that bullish impulse. We see that new high within the internal structure. We have the pullback within this new range, this internal range, at least into the 50% or within discount. And then as you can see, we ripped these highs. That would have definitely been a 1 and 2, which is, again, I just love it showing you guys that, because again, like a lot of people trade 30-second. Not a lot of people, but again, it just goes to show this works on all time frames. Chucky, do you trade NY breakouts? Sorry, 8 contracts, Michael. If you can see it, it's always going to be up here, guys. That's as much as I'm risking. But obviously, that's depending on how much you want to risk. Like, I want to risk $500 on this trade. Again, like you guys can risk $400 or $300. And then hopefully when this is out, it can definitely help you guys. Or even just looking it up too. I am in Nepal right now. You're in Nepal? Fire, how do you like it out there? Mamba #1 shot for O. Yeah, he's a beast when it comes to the breakouts. And again, it's just I think the biggest thing too is like, and it's with everything. It's just he understands RR. He understands risk management. He knows he can have a 25-point stop loss and go for so many points, and majority of the time he's going to catch those 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s. He's going to hit those 3 targets, 4 targets. And the time he does loss, okay, he loses 1R compared to the 4RR win he'll have the trade after that or that he had the day before that. Just understanding risk management. It really is. Chucky, when it comes to that, like when it comes to anything, like if you're trading breakouts, and basically what I was just talking about, like with Mamba, is you just have to understand risk. You have to understand risk management. Which, if again, like if you haven't watched my new video, I just dropped a video on that on my YouTube. If you guys want to check that out, Niicksfx, I can link it later too if you ask me. Because I think it's super important. No matter what you trade, right? If you understand RR, you understand risk management, you do fine. So like in your case, if you're doing a lot of breakouts, but let's say you're just taking too many trades a day, you're taking 3 trades a day, 4 trades a day, potentially exposing yourself to 3 or 4 losses. Obviously, there may be a win in some cases, maybe all wins in some cases, but nonetheless, you need, like I'd say, if you're new to things, be a little bit more disciplined, be a little bit more strict with yourself. Limit yourself how many trades you can take a day. I like 2. I think 2 is a happy medium. Again, in some cases, yeah, you can take more than 2, but at that point, are you revenge trading? But then have a system. Like if you win, there's no reason for you to trade. If you lose, okay, maybe give yourself, another trade to take. Okay, if you lose that trade, you're done. If you win that trade, you're done. Right? There's no ifs or buts, whatever. Because again, in most cases, if you lose and you win, and if you actually understand RR and you're going for a decent RR, at least a 1 to 2, you're still going to profit on the day. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to be so upset if price just runs down here, guys. Like, you don't understand. I'm off, like, no sleep as it is. And price is just barely missed our entry. And again, I can't do anything about that. It's nothing with the technicals. It's a matter of fact that price just did not hit our area of interest. Which, again, like, it still has room to. And I actually wouldn't mind it hitting it now, because instead of like, I'd rather see price kind of fluctuate, create some liquidity, like engineer some liquidity here where we have early sellers stepping in. Clearly we're seeing price sell off, having early sellers step in, and then price comes back up, taps us in, takes all these early sellers out, using them as liquidity, and then we see a dump in price. But obviously price could just end up dumping, which sucks. But nonetheless, again, I can't enter if my area of interest isn't hit. It is what it is. But again, like even if price does just rip here, guys, one thing I am going to really note is, again, this 30-second that I talked about. Again, doesn't mean I'm going to come in here and start trading 30-second. No, it's just a matter of, again, it's the same thing, right? Again, we're looking at the 15-minute time frame. We're looking to capitalize on the pullback of this 15-minute time frame. Okay. Not only that, we're looking to capitalize on the pullback of this 15-minute bullish leg. If we go on to the 1 minute, we would have been looking to capitalize on the pullback of this bearish leg, okay? Because again, like we always know that price is going to fluctuate. It's going to move in waves, and I say on all time frames too, okay? And it's just a matter of identifying it. Crystal, I'm mad too. Wait, you're in? Oh, you're in on that leg. Yeah, I'm not in on that leg. I like this bigger leg just because we never really broke this low. Like technically, if price is going to continue within its bearish trend from this initial break, then yes, this is a good leg to play off of. But at the same time, like since we broke this major low on the 5 minute and within that 1 minute swing structure, I always play the high of the range to the low of the range. Okay. If this area would have broke this structure first, like if we would have done this, then had a pullback and then here, okay, then I would have played the fib from this high. Because we broke structure, we had a pullback, and we broke structure again. But in my case, we didn't. No, it never broke. Like again, like it may have broke this internal structure, But this is where, again, like people confuse internal structure and swing structure, where this, yeah, that may have been valid within that area. I wouldn't have taken those sells because, again, we were still bullish within this initial leg to the left. Like we were bullish here. So this sell off here came into discount, and this pullback may have just been the move to continue to, trade within this bullish range. That's where, again, once I saw this break of this low, that confirmed the overall bearish structure. And being that we actually broke this strong low from this swing structure, we now are technically playing this entire range from this high to this low. Okay, not the internal structure, because again, that internal structure could screw you over. If, let's say, this was previous price, okay, we have some fluctuation within here, we finally break. Okay, let's say, obviously we broke this low. You mark up the internal structure. Yes, price can definitely play off of that, but price could also come deeper because it's technically playing from this high to this low, because that's the entire range that broke this structure. And then you could get stopped out premature, and then price continues within that bullish, swing direction. So, but again, like, don't think it's a bad trade. And the reason I say it's not a bad trade, Crystal, it's just something to keep in mind. It really is. And this is for all of you guys. It's just understanding internal and swing is very important. Obviously, like in this case, price did react off of this. I'm not saying it's luck, because again, you have to remember that once price breaks an area of structure, let's say if it was trending within the 1 minute, finally breaks the swing low, it could just keep trending. Like nothing says it has to stop trending within that initial trend. But nonetheless, a lot of times once we see that break of that swing low, price will have a deeper pullback of the new swing bearish leg before continuing to make new lows. Again, it saved me from so many losses. And obviously, yes, like in this case, if we would have took this trade, we would, be up, 1-1 for sure at break even. But again, like I would have rather waited just in case price did end up having a deeper pullback. We got fucked over, and then it just continued lower. But again, I'm still playing this entire range here. So like we could still look for, obviously now that we're stretching out the range, which sucks that price is now taking off without us, I could still be looking for something like this, because again, if you remember, our ultimate goal is these lows. The reason is because it's Tokyo lows, right? We have really good liquidity seen down here. Obviously, the reason I consider liquidity is because a lot of people bought up from this area. I mean, it's clear as day. What do you think made price go up? People buying, okay? So I think we still have room for price to obviously have the pullback of this 5-minute leg as price continues to stretch out this range. Obviously, our fib stretches out, so our Fibonacci moves, or at least our equilibrium moves, to find the equal point within this entire range, this new range, since it's stretching out. So our stop is now a little bit bigger, but nonetheless, we're still going to get that 1 to 2, potentially even a little bit more, depending on when price does have that full pullback. Buy opportunity. Yeah, that's one thing too, is like prices like within this 5-minute internal bullish leg, but I'm kind of playing the fact that price does have room to come down, take Tokyo lows, and within the 15-minute, we are bullish as well. We do need more of an overextended pullback. Again, multi-time frame analysis was so hard at me at the beginning to understand, but like I feel like it's helped me so much. And Q's been asked, yeah, like we've only had, within the past week and a half, we've only had 2 setups. And one was a win, one was a loss. I mean, actually, April wasn't bad for me with NASDAQ, early month especially. But it's kind of slowed down, and we are creeping into the end of the month, So we're going to see what happens. UK 100 continue lower. Again, like I said, we could have definitely continued within this bearish trend. Had the pullback into 50%. Did have a lot of imbalance, but that's fine. Eventually came to take these lows, and that's definitely something that could happen. I just don't like when we've been trending for so long. Like obviously trade within the trend, yes, but nonetheless, they say the trend is your friend, but the trend will end at some point too. Okay. But let's see. Again, we are buying. I mean, we are selling in this like 5-minute bullish internal leg, but nonetheless, I think the confluences are stronger for sales just due to the liquidity that we have sitting down here as well. Again, price could still be playing these internal legs here, which could fuck us over. But nonetheless, I do have to play the swing leg according to my system. My crow started choking on saliva. Sorry, you can hear her. One of those days, price just ran without us. Where the fuck is Henry? Hold on, guys. Can you look at gold? No. I'm just kidding. One of those days. I'm so fucking tired, guys. Honestly, I'm kind of mad that price just kind of sold with literally barely by a fucking tick. Maybe 2. Okay, maybe a point. Actually kind of irks my soul. Irks my fucking soul. Alright. So, looks like we're coming to take Tokyo lows. We've just been dumping on gold, to be honest. Like, I'm just not a fan of gold. You guys know this already. I've never really liked gold. I think gold moves a little bit differently. Obviously, it's a commodity. I'm not a fan of it. But nonetheless, I think we could take some lows, have some type of reaction back to the upside to take highs. Obviously, we could just continue to just dump here. I don't want to give a full like opinion because I just think it's just not it, to be honest with you. Still trading FX, like DAX and UK 100, you mean? Or like Forex pairs? Forex? No, not really. I have someone in my community who's been trading a decent amount of it. He said it's slow, but he's getting decent setups. I just haven't really seen anything I liked, like really at all. Just not really the best. I've kind of just straight into UK 100, DAX, and NAS, which even with DAX and UK 100, like it's just been slow, like just not like the most ideal setups. I guess like we could have taken, even if we took shorts here, we couldn't really take shorts here just because price hit so early. We'd have to play this new leg lower, okay, if we were to play, just because again, like we already hit 50% before New York opened yesterday and just kind of ranged here. From there, I don't think there was any other positions until here recently, which again, like I'm just not a big fan of continuing to sell, which again, like price can definitely continue to sell, especially because if you remember, our overall objective is price is bullish within this 4-hour internal structure. We broke some internal highs. I am expecting price to come and facilitate a pullback before going higher. Okay. But what I was about to say is one thing I may start doing is playing more, and this is something I used to do a lot on Forex. And like obviously I'm still gonna like day trade NAS and stuff like that. Probably like solely be more NAS here. Probably just NAS. and start trading UK 100 and DAX more like intraday. Obviously, I'm not jumping the fucking gun, but not gonna lie to you, just a lot of data. I never jump the gun, guys. If you guys know me by now, like I'm so heavy on data. Like I will not do anything unless I have months of data. Okay, but it's just the way things have been looking from the beginning of the year. Just price has been. It was really good for me at the start of the year. But I've just been noticing a lot of setups either before London, as we creep out of Asia into pre-London, or as we go from London into New York, even sometimes, a little bit later in New York. There's been good setups, or at least price is just following trend. Like price is just doing what it needs to do, right? It's higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, lower highs, so on, so on. It's just how shit trades. It's just how it works, right? But nonetheless, I don't like trading the 1 minute on DAX and UK 100. So especially like when I've been seeing a lot more 15-minute, 30-minute setups, it's just something where it's like, hold on, ADHD. It's just something where it's like, it'd be stupid of me to start noticing a trend or something that's starting to shift as far as just there being more setups between a specific time or, at a wider range of times and not doing anything about it, not, adjusting anything to make sure that, again, like obviously the goal here is to make money. And again, like I still make good money, but it's just when it's slower, again, just not a fan of it. But I don't know. I don't think April was a terrible month. I think the beginning of April was actually fairly nice. It just kind of slowed down. I think March by far was just a rancid ass month for price action, but it's so different. People have different opinions, guys. Like some people thought March was amazing. I didn't. Some people thought April was trash. I didn't think it was trash, right? Again, it's just to each their own, depending on your system. But again, like the only reason I talk about this stuff, guys, is like as far as, taking DAX and UK 100 is more of intraday because I'm fully transparent, like what I do and why I'm doing it. But again, like I want to also kind of like elaborate and very like push the fact that I don't do anything without data. Like I don't do anything without seeing like or making actual observations where it's actually, giving me the idea that, okay, like this is happening a lot more than it was. And it's just something to keep an eye on. Like obviously I'm not just going to go into intraday tomorrow. No, but nonetheless, again, if it's something that continues to happen, if it's something that I continue to see, throughout the next couple of weeks on a consistent basis where there's a lot of setups, that's within a wider range of my trading hours, of course, like I'm going to definitely start looking to capitalize on those moves because I'm not changing anything, not changing the system, not changing anything, not changing the management plan. It's just a matter of what times I'm allowing myself to take these trades based off what's happening. Again, it could just solely be during April and March, but it seemingly has been the entire first quarter of the year now coming into the second quarter where I've been noticing that trend. And that's just through strictly observations and data. So, but again, I stress that because I want you guys to take the same approach with data. If you guys aren't getting data, I'm sorry, you're not going to make it. Like obviously, like you don't need data, but nonetheless, like especially when you're early on, you need data. The only reason I still get data now is because I love data. Like I'm fascinated by it. And two, like I'm always looking for ways, or mostly just looking to stay on top of my trading. Which again, like I don't necessarily need to make any changes right now, but if it goes to show, then it goes to show, right? This is all just like potential. Again, like we could start seeing the month of May just step up within London session, and there's maybe not as many setups going into New York or before London where it's like, okay, obviously we had a different type of data during quarter one, but quarter two is definitely showing us something else where we're just kind of again doing the same thing as far as the trading hours. Yeah, I haven't looked at NAS in a while. Yeah, guys, it might be a while before we get our pullback on NAS here. Let's see if the 30-second hits. I'm not going to enter this, guys, but I know we're talking about the 30-second trade over here. Let's see if we kind of get the same thing here. Where, again, we know we're oversold. We know we need the pullback, okay? All right. That's a given, right? We see price break these internal highs within the 30-second. Obviously, we had a pullback. Stop would be here. We probably would have entered at, we actually could have entered at 71% here just because, again, we had imbalance leading up to that area. What's up, Damon? Let me come on stage, take over the streams. Or means you'd get us banned. I just have a feeling. No, I'll be PG. So you can't even be PG, bro. You gotta be like M mature. No. What is it, like kid friendly? Like G? You gotta be G. I'm nervous but really curious. Like as far as how Lormings would handle shit. Yeah, I don't know about that, to be honest with you. Let's see how the 30-second plays here, guys. Again, this would have been another nice little 30-second setup, potentially. If we would enter that 71%, we'd already be at 1RR, to be honest with you guys. And again, it's just the same thing, just a different time frame, right? I just don't really prefer to enter on the 30-second. Obviously, we could, because like I said, it's the same thing, different time frame. But actually looks solid. How we get on 30-second? Because we're just looking at it, Lexi. It's because I was talking about how when we're waiting for the sell-off, or obviously the pullback first and the sell-off on the 1 minute earlier, we had a nice little 30-second setup where price broke some internal highs, made a new higher high within the internal 30-second structure, had a pullback, and then obviously 1 and 2. And kind of the same thing here where obviously we didn't hit 50%, so we're still playing the full pullback of that range. But what do we see? We see the 30-second break some internal highs. We obviously mark the fib from the high to the low of this new internal bullish trend. Same thing, pullback, continuation, right? Just kind of marking it up. Again, a lot of it's just to show that this works on every single time frame. It's just a matter of I don't prefer to enter on 30-second, and I can just wait for this 1 minute here. But again, like that's really good data as well. Just got my new sign. That shit's bright as fuck, Armings. We thinking buys? No, I'm actually thinking sells. I actually want to sell down into Tokyo lows. But again, like the only reason I was looking at buys right here is just because, again, like I'm monitoring the 30-second price action to see how well it's kind of playing out when it comes to these pullbacks and stuff like that. NASDAQ. It's so bright. Can you turn it down? I have a sign. I don't have it anymore. I don't even know where it's at, to be honest. But where is it at? And it was just too bright. Does it go red? Damn, that'd be cool if, like, you have a negative day, put it red, get in your feelings. Might retrace. See, guys, look, 30-second smacked again. Honestly, these 30-second moves may be the go. Can't even lie to you. Really can't even lie. Just be a 30-second warrior. Again, like I'm waiting for sells overall. But like we still know that in waiting for these sells, we need to see that pullback happen before we end up selling off. So that's where, again, like the 30-second is just giving us the same price action we're looking for here. We had the bearish leg. We're looking for a pullback to continue back down. What did the 30-second do? The 30-second, again, had a nice little bullish push, broke internal structure, had a pullback, continued to pull back into this area. Gonna hyperscalp soon? I know, I've never been the type, but 30 seconds looking mighty fine. Again, even if it's just taking 71% retracements, which again, like in most cases, like again, there's a reason I don't necessarily always go for 71%. I don't know if, like in this one, it wouldn't have hit. This one would have. So I'd still enter at 50. But again, this is just all kind of a observation. I'm just still waiting for the main move to happen. 35. Let's change that. That. 35. What is that? 7 contracts. If price just starts fluctuating, guys, I'm tired. I'm gonna head off, but I'll probably end up setting fucking limits, to be honest with you guys. I'd be pretty pressed if, again, like, price does end up reacting off of this internal structure, which it definitely could. Like, price could just be reacting off of this internal structure, but, like, yes, I could play that, guys, but nonetheless, I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to. It's just when it comes to my system, again, like, where we broke from this 5-minute structure, we know that we ended up sweeping these highs, or actually breaking these highs too. Had a strong low here, broke the strong low, never had a pullback of this entire range. We literally barely missed it on this first leg here. Barely missed it, so technically it doesn't count. Our range continues to expand. Obviously, we're still waiting for it to hit. If price just continues to react within this internal structure, so be it. W oil, gosh, Luca, me and Luca made a bet. Luca, look. Don't talk your shit. Don't talk your shit. Me and Luca were talking shit at the wedding, saying whoever got a win first wins. Look at this shit. You can't tell me I didn't get fucked on this trade. Barely missed by a point. I would already caught a dub. We would already been celebrating and shit, popping bottles, eating steak and lobster, Luca. Guys, defend me, please. My London crew is gonna attack you during power hour tomorrow, Luca. They're ride or dies, I'm telling you, especially in Lormings. Chill on Nick, Luca. That's crazy. Now, how's oil though? Was oil fire? Look at that, Luca. London team standing up already. They're about to squabble with you. Crystal, you're kicked. Luca, we're fighting. Nah, Luca is the GOAT, guys. If you guys don't know, Luca started trading London session. Like, he started trading. I started trading London because of Luca, because he was trading London session, and then I started trading London session, and then he eventually moved to power hour, and he left me in London. Kind of sucks. But bro used to basically only trade London. He'd be pulling the all-nighters like me. I think my sleep schedule is a little bit more fucked than him, but again, still waiting, guys. Again, kind of got to be patient here. Nothing else to trade. I'm still going to look for these sells. Again, I have the first 2 hours to trade. So I'm going to trade. See what 30 seconds doing again. Do we think 30-second holds again to continue into EQ? This shit holds again. Obviously, I'm not going to take it out on trade 30-second, guys. But if this shit holds again, you might be fucking... Who called it what? Someone called it something. Hyper scalpers. We're going to be hyper scalpers, guys. Yeah, Lormings. Let's trade on the 1 second year trip, and bro, that'd be nuts. That's hyper scalping. I think 30 seconds isn't too bad. But again, like it's not like I'm switching anything up in 30 seconds. It's the same thing where, again, we know that we're going to facilitate a pullback of this 1 minute leg. Typically, we trade the 1 minute leg, so we're just waiting for a pullback to continue lower. But obviously, the 30 second could give us some type of internal structure shift, where we could then look to seek buys on that short-term pullback into our area of interest before price sells off. And again, look at it. Did this hit 71%? Smack 71% too. Wow. Absolutely disgusting. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's three 30-second trades we could have got. Obviously, again, guys, like, just because it looks good doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be good, but it's really good data. Daniel, it's well, we just kind of reversed here. Again, I'm not in anything. I'm probably gonna get off right now. Daniel, it's just the last hour of like the trading markets, like the financial markets, where there's typically a lot of volatility and stuff like that. Holy fuck, oil. Bro saw Luca talk about oil when to trade it. Damn, oil ran. Is this 1 minute? TP5, fire. All right, guys, again, I'm still waiting for sells. Unless price just continues to dump here, then I'll still look for sells. But I'm gonna hop off. I'm tired. I've just been up all day. I was at a wedding, had a lot of stuff to do beforehand. So that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. No trade today, at least right now. Again, we missed our initial sell position by literally a point, by 4 fucking ticks. It is what it is. Price ended up selling off. Directional bias was on point. I do still think we're going to come down to Tokyo lows. That's why I'm still expecting sells, guys. Like, I still want to see sells here. It's just a matter of, are we going to get them or not? Okay. That being said, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys same time tomorrow. Be here. Okay. I'm out of here later.